Good night, and welcome to All in United. Right. Tonight for some reason again some technical difficulties. I wanna apologize early on my end. Right. We have Greg, we have Phil on the inside, we have Reem to join us on the inside soon. Right. So hopefully by then the whatever technical issues right should iron out by then. Right. Again, guys, well, I mean, how we will put it, a very industrious day at the office today. I think we have worked very hard for our 3 points today, and I think that was to me it was a fulfilling result. So without ado, let me get into it. Phil, tell me what you think about today. You know, what I mean, the early waking up to sit down to watch United. As a Saturday normally when we wake up this hour to see United, how the rest of the day does be. So maybe how your day went after that. Looking at the other games. Yeah.
Yeah, the day was good because all last season when we waking up at 7:30 and to watch these games is always result in a United loss, right? And then your day a bit miserable. But nah, today was a really good day after that hard fought one love win, and I saw that the guys were asking, can we get 2 wins in a row, right? And Southampton had never beaten us in 19 years, so it was told. So I mean, a hard fought win at the end of the 90 minutes, I was pleased with how the guys performed. Obviously, it wasn't as intense as the Liverpool game, right? Because it's different rivals, different atmosphere, right? But not the girls, the guys still showed a little bit of tenacity. And also, I didn't feel under threat from Southampton today. I didn't. They had maybe one chance, but I was just praying. I was just praying that the guys didn't foul like 18 yards from our goalkeeper. Because when James Ward-Prowse steps up, 8 out of 10 times he's going to score, right? But no, one love win to the United, and I felt good today, man.
Yeah, and as they talk about that, for some reasons these guys will step up for United when they're playing against United. And I think what I would have said in terms of nullifying their threats, and I think we did nullify their threats, which definitely would have been set piece, because we know the powers of James Ward-Prowse. Yeah. So Greg.
Well, I mean, I kind of echo Phil's sentiments in that regard too, because it was a game where I think it was kind of finely poised in some respects, but at the same time, there was no real like indication that Southampton were really gonna bear down on us. There were moments where they had a lot of the possession. There were moments where they're looking to try and see if they could get forward into our area a lot, but there wasn't anything that was necessarily penetrating. There was just that one instance where Martinez didn't get his foot to the ball in time, and Che Adams managed to kind of get a shot off, but he fluffed it. And then apart from that, there was one where De Gea held comfortably. Um, Apart from those two instances, I can't honestly remember Southampton being a serious threat in that regard. So when we got our chance, I mean, we could have easily probably won that game, maybe 2-3-0 in some instances. There was that mad scramble in the box where Ericsson had a chance, some others had a chance as well too. But unfortunately, it didn't go in for us. But we gradually got the result in the end.
Yeah, yeah, and we are Reem coming in really. So as you just coming in with us, we were just talking about normally when we get up on a Saturday morning, half 7 in the morning, how the rest of the day, how the rest of the weekend has been. So so thankfully today wasn't that type of day, and I mean how the rest of the day was. Yeah, so you could
Yeah,
go.
y'all hearing me properly, right? Because I had the wrong headset, boy. All you hear me good?
Now, yeah, we're in you. We're in you.
Okay, nice, nice. Good night,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, it has always be concerning when Man United had to play early in the morning, boy. It has always be a concern, and I know in certain areas, I know by Phil, I know you might have to get extra early, you know. It is always have that kind of concern as to whether they're going to sour your dinner, boy, right? And but thankfully, this time around, I was able to go through the day watching the scoreline, watching the other games with a sense of, that kind of relaxation, knowing that, hey, we don't have 3 points in the bag already. I don't know if we touch on the performance yet. That's a different story. But at the end of the day, the 3 points was very, very, very important. And I find Nico real sticking there, boy.
Yeah, he was now saying he can again a bit of a delay, so.
Yes, some comments already on the inside room, so if I don't go through that.
Yeah,
I stick in. Yeah, right. So I might chop off a bit and come back on. Okay, right?
All right, no scene.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So
yeah.
The Vindra on the inside man, he's saying good night, fellas. Martinez to the world. Hey, earlier we had to talk about Martinez, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. JP on the inside, man. Good night, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. The Vindra saying here the day would have been better if Crystal Palace. Here now. Phil, when you message me, right? I left home at 2-0. When I reach home, it's because JP messaged me and said I can't stand City,
Big man, I when halftime came out the Crystal Palace game, I fall asleep. My phone going off, and I see Erling Haaland score a hat trick. I said, "Well, you got to be kidding me, boy."
No, but the good thing for me, right, is I had Erling Haaland on my fantasy team. The only thing I didn't do was captain him. Jody on the inside, blessed night to you, buddy. Saying Harry nothing. Jody just now be saying Ronaldo nothing, brother.
Right now we're saying Martial nothing to you, man.
No, here we're going on, right? The only time you say Martial nothing is because of injury, right? We talk about form and coach preference. Ronaldo nothing, right? But fellas, let me get into it now, right? Because this I don't know what the statistics. I know Gregory, you and Phil normally kind of on top of these kind of things in terms of statistics. And I know this would have been our first win in how much games?
Well, this is our first away win.
Away win.
This is about our first away win since February.
Since February.
Yeah.
Right. I think this is the first time we won 2 games in a row since 2021 December.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just since the 3rd of December, yeah. Since the 3rd of December.
Wow. So this was I mean, the win was more than just 3 points for this group. You understand? It was some kind. It's like we kind of break some kind of curse. The curse had to be broken, stuff like that. And it was a hard fought.
Let's not also forget. Let's not also forget that prior to this is a team that went unbeaten away from home for a whole season before.
Yeah.
So the whole roller coaster of changes in form just kind of culminated in this situation today. We went from basically going in people's house, eating their food and rambling their bed and leaving to basically getting kicked right out as soon as we reach by the door.
I'm telling you. But guys, let me get into the game, right? Because I'll tell you something. Today's performance wasn't anything to talk about, right? But we always used to say, and I think it's something that we kind of developed and learned from Ferguson's 10 years manager. If you don't perform, you still have a win, right? And that is the sign of champions, right? And I think we could really credit a lot of today's result to our defense, right? Because the first thing you have to do always is keep a clean sheet, right? Because what we saw last season was the fact that we couldn't keep a clean sheet, and because we couldn't keep a clean sheet, we always used to have to be scoring 2 and 3 and 4 goals to win games, and our attack is incapable of doing that at this moment. But let me get into team sheets, guys. I know going into the game, especially after the Liverpool performance and then the signing of Casemiro, we would expect certain changes to happen to the 11. What was your thoughts on the starting 11 when it came out, Greg?
I mean, I was kind of okay with it because at the end of the day, when you look at it, there was a lot of similarities with the team that we put out for Liverpool. So I mean, it was basically the same 11 that started the Liverpool game in itself. So I did not really have too many issues because I felt like Ten Hag looked at that. These were players that were on a high. So you would want to carry that momentum into the to that next game. The thing with United is just that you want them to make sure that even though they did have a big win, and believe me, everybody knows that when you play Liverpool, to beat them is always considered a big win, no matter what the circumstances are. He wanted them to be able to keep that confidence level up, but as a matter keep it their concentration, because while beating Liverpool is always big, Southampton is a different story. They're a bit more disciplined in the way that they do that, and Ralph would know. Ralph Hasenhuttl in this regard would know that we can't necessarily handle a low block. So he would have geared to basically put a team out to frustrate Manchester United in that regard. So the fact that we were still able to get away with it, knowing that they did that and was looking at the counter and find ways to kind of get through our defense, it works out well for us in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. So Everson on the inside, he's saying good night all in. Yes. Good night, buddy, and thanks for joining, man. Kurt's on the inside as well, and Kurt watching from YouTube. Thanks for that, man. He's saying Wagwan Mancunians, that what we talking about. And guys, don't forget to like and share. We want to get more people in on the content, right? So like and share the podcast, guys. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. All right. Kurt's also saying here, it wasn't the prettiest game, but 3 points is 3 points. No doubt. Somebody had posted on social media today, Manchester United won, Southampton 0, 3 points. Liverpool 9, Bournemouth 0, 3 points. You understand? So, yeah. JP saying here, Scott gets his last start. Casemiro in from next game. Main thing I've seen from Ten Hag signing so far is the character and desire. All those signings lead by example. No doubt.
No. Before we go any further, I had to kind of contest what John Paul saying there too, because when you think about it, the last 2 games, I think because we signed McTominay, you notice he started kind of raising the game a little bit more. Somebody passing not as bad as before. Yeah, somebody passing not as bad as it was before. Somebody decision making that is not necessarily where he making erratic passes and probably putting them in dangerous position as at the hospital balls like before. So I think in itself, knowing that he's not guaranteed a spot, it keeps him on his toes, and knowing that I have to be very measured in every decision I make from now. So he can't afford to make the same mistakes that he's accustomed making. Because if you look at the change from when we played Brentford, the passes he was making in that game to against Liverpool, there was quite a bit of a raise in performance level in that regard. So
yeah. All right, fair, but we could get into that deeper.
We could contest that. No, we could contest that, Greg. We could contest that. I still delete that. I still delete that.
You're looking
at You're picking up.
Yeah. Phil, so let me talk about team sheets now. Your thoughts on team sheets and anything that you want to get into?
I don't want to say I didn't care about the team sheet. I just hoped that Martinez and Varane started. That's all, right? Because I saw how those two performed versus Liverpool, and in my opinion, out of those, actually, those two defenders would have given David De Gea some confidence, right? Because David De Gea looks a bit more happy and stable, right? There are some shots today that David De Gea would have spilled, and it could have been an equalizer today. But with regards to the team sheets, I definitely am glad that Ten Hag started Martinez and Varane together, right? You want to hear something? You know how tall Martinez is? 5'9". You want to know who has won the most aerial duels in the Premier League for match day 4?
Lisandro Martinez.
5'9", more than Koulibaly, more than Virgil van Dijk, more than Thiago Silva, more than
William Saliba.
Thank you. Right?
And mind you, William Saliba is the tallest of the bunch. He's 6'4", and his win rate is 63%. Martinez is 83%.
Correct.
Yeah, muted.
But thanks. But all I think though, the perception that he is too short is what actually, and the fact that even though he's short, he's very good in the air. it's kind of encouraging teams to play aerial balls, which he's winning, which is kind of spinning the stats in his favor. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The likelihood of you trying to play a ball in the air against a tall defender, you might think twice. But you'll think that you could beat a shorter defender, right? But he would win it because he that good. So therefore, the statistics could be in his favor because he have more crosses to defend against.
But it's percentage. It's percentages. So if it's two and you win one, and you say it's 50%, and our next player is, let me say, is 10. You know what I mean? And you win 20, it's a 50% now. You know?
But
If you understand
all
what I mean.
depends on all depends on the team you're playing as well too. Because don't forget Liverpool. Liverpool is not a team that plays direct football for most of the game, but Southampton to some extent is, right. Your Bournemouth to do that. Fulham will do that as well to play the ball in the air to taller strikers. So we'll have to see how he does against those teams, right? But it's match day 4 just concluded. Well, match day 4 for us just concluded today. Alessandro Martinez has the aerial duel percentage for out of the most in the backs in the league, right? So I just had to put that in there. With regards to Marcus Rashford up top, right? I I see that he wants to try, but we all know that Marcus Rashford is more effective out on the left, right? So we definitely saw that we missed Tony Martial today, right? Um, who else can I touch on in the clean sheet? Now, with regards to Scott McTominay, right? Scott McTominay could be playing better just because we signed Casemiro. It could be that as well too, right? Had we not signed Casemiro, we could have still seen the same Scott McTominay versus Brentford and versus Brighton earlier in the season. But now that Casemiro is in, maybe because this is similar to when we signed Alex Telles. Luke Shaw was playing a bunch of rubbish before he signed Alex Telles. Before Dean Henderson came back to try to establish his number one position as goalkeeper, David De Gea was playing a bunch of rubbish as well too. And there's one more person. Can't remember who else was playing rubbish. But this could be similar. This could be a blueprint to us signing Casemiro that Scott McTominay is starting to play better, right? Will he feature in the Arsenal game? Scott? Who knows, right? But he is
Leicester,
playing
Leicester
well
we play
so
next.
far.
Yeah, we are Leicester
It's not
Thursday.
Arsenal?
We are Leicester Thursday.
Nah, Leicester Tuesday.
Oh, okay. We got Leicester Thursday. Okay. It's funny because a lot of people are saying that if we didn't score against Liverpool, we wouldn't have a goal of the month. But I'm like, it's August and finished yet, and we still played Liverpool. We still played Southampton today, so at least we would have some sort of like
Yeah,
goal
well,
of the month.
Thursday, September the 1st. So, yeah, basically, Brentford will probably be our last game. I mean, not Brentford. So today's game will be our last game in August.
Correct. Yeah. I actually not to steer away from topic, but I hope we do get Anthony in because I think Sancho needs a kick up the ass as well too. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nico, you want to jump in on team sheets?
Yeah. For me, I guess Greg and Fulwell kind of talk about the defensive part. To me, was an important part of the team. She was up top. You know that if you was going to put back in Ronaldo, right? Knowing that Martial again, right, wasn't fit enough for the bill, right? So sticking to Ilanga because I think as poor as out of play, as ineffective as Ilanga was, I think he was still would have been more effective than a Ronaldo, to be honest. You know,
Yeah.
so I thought Ten Hag sticking with Ilanga was a plus. Because again, if you look at the first half against Liverpool, he did well. You know, he did well. He just had Martial who came on it better. But and we even when he came on, it's either he not up to it mentally, right? But definitely for what we saw physically, he looking like all of his age, you know. And to me, I saw that he struggled coming on. If he started, I think that would have, I mean, I think definitely we'd have struggled even more because I think we need that energy from Ilanga. Um, and I think that for me that was important for Ten Hag to stick with Ilanga and not go back to Ronaldo. You know, so to me that stood out on the team sheet.
Yeah. Let me just get some comments here before we move on. All right. Devendra saying here, I have to give Ten Hag props. The man have belly to drop Ronaldo 2 games in a row. Plus, heard he load him up in training. Man showing he don't care who is. His is his way or bench. Okay. All right. Kurt saying here, and it's just like that we in 7th place. And yeah.
Just the other day, people were saying we
really
was content just for education.
Yeah. Yeah. Kurt also saying here, competition breeds better mentality. Yeah.
Greg, but
JP
that's
saying
why,
here,
Greg,
no-
Greg, if you're still standing with Shaw, that's sorry. If you're still
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
with Shaw Maguire, yeah, I telling you, we'd be fighting relegation, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Them
Trust
fellas
me.
and them suspect bad.
Yeah. The whole of the
JP
GD
saying,
team different.
yeah. JP saying no, he will get back to his true self soon enough. Bench for that. And he talking about McTominay.
Talking about McTominay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that does not, JP, that does not mean you can't get him on some credit for the performances that he had
No.
previously.
No. And the thing about it earlier, the truth, and well, let me jump in here with my thoughts on the team selection, and some of you guys would know, right? I wasn't surprised, or disappointed by the team selection today, right? My only disappointment was the fact that my boy was injured, right? But apart from that, right, you want to send the right message, to your squad.
Yep.
You perform, you play, regardless as to who in the squad. No reputation, no big name taking precedence over performance. So I totally support Ten Hag if he with that notion and that stand, if he were to go through with it without favor, right? So the fact that McTominay started for me was like, right. He ain't do nothing against. He wasn't stellar against Liverpool, but the man was tidy and he did his job.
Yeah.
Right? Ilanga, with the way how Ten Hag want to play, Ilanga giving it that kind of intensity and energy up top. He lacking the final product. He lacking that better quality to take him to the next level. But I understand what he doing. Right? I guess everybody didn't expect any change in the back line, right? The only change people were actually looking at was the Casemiro thing. And then too, when you look at, the intensity of the league, yes, Casemiro is of a certain standard in terms of his ability and what he achieve and that kind of thing, his quality. But at the same time, Casemiro have to know, here what's going on. To start on this team, you had to perform. Right? And McTominay did his job against Liverpool, so McTominay getting the nod. And this is what I appreciated today with the starting lineup. Right? Of course, you saw where we all know where Ilanga lacking in terms of quality. We all know where McTominay lacking in terms of quality. So it's not gonna be long before we see the likes of Casemiro and probably Anthony or whoever come into the team and take those picks. Because them is the 2 picks as far as I'm concerned up for grabs, right? But in terms of the team selection, I was fully in support of it. As I said before, my only disappointment was the fact that my boy was injured. Because if he wasn't injured earlier, he was starting, right? Greg.
So that's how I have a question, right? So let me you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
we
ahead.
heard you.
Yeah, we're hearing you, yeah.
Okay, right. Let me say if McTominay get a goal and an assist today, wait saying here, start next game.
Oh, you had to.
60 minutes.
If I
Yeah.
see him start next game, Nico,
Casemiro?
I can't vex for that because the man performing.
You can't
Yeah,
vex,
yeah.
but that happen, man. Even that 60
Yeah, but but Nico, you
So-
can't be given a hypothetical situation. You can't give him a hypothetical situation and then contest the hypothetical situation. That don't make sense. If the man
Bro,
scored
that
assist
ain't
in the
working.
game, Nico, you contradicted yourself though.
Yeah.
If the man score
Yeah.
an assist in a game, you think Ten Hag's
Yeah.
just going to drop him for that? If he does it, it
For
has to be
Casemiro?
for tactical.
But Casemiro,
Yeah.
to me, he
Yo,
should.
hey,
No, but-
listen,
no.
listen to me.
He
Listen,
should.
let me finish. Let me finish
Yeah.
now, man. Let me finish now, man.
Yeah.
If he fits the system, unless it's for a tactical reason, Most of these players are getting their places because of their performances in previous games. If they continue to show their form, then until they are given Ten Hag a reason otherwise, then there might not necessarily be a reason other than tactically to drop them.
I got I got to ask Nico one question. Scott
Right.
McTominay scoring a goal for us or the other team?
No, because think about it. So the players, simple as Mahrez, it had games, right? Mahrez had a stellar game, and next game Pep drop him.
Well, Nico, that could probably be tactical too, eh?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it could probably. Yeah. So we could see that happen from
Now
a
I
tactical
drop him.
standpoint. So I agree with you.
One assist today, I drop him. I
Wow.
No, but the thing about it, right?
Wow.
No, but here, right? Before I go back to the comments, but here I was saying, right, Nico, this goal and assist thing, earlier, let me do get teeth because a man score a goal or create an assist. That don't mean that the overall game was good. Let me look at Bruno today. Bruno had a poor game, right? But Bruno score. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that McTominay might score and give an assist, that don't mean that he performed in the function or the role as how you wanted to, and that could very well mean a man could get dropped.
That they were saying.
But I talking about
get dropped for Casemiro in a dime.
But what I'm saying, is McTominay's performance was tidy. He did his job. What I thought today, however, because remember the kind of Liverpool game we're not expecting to possess the ball, 70% and all kind of thing, right? Them kind of games is where we have always seen the best of McFred. Them kind of games where we kind of go into the game as the underdogs, right? So today, we were not the underdogs. I mean, I know, our run wasn't anything to talk about. I know our performances of late wasn't not to talk about the confidence down. But after the Liverpool game and being Manchester United, you will always, kind of give us the favourites card.
Yep.
Right? We had to take the initiative today against Southampton. So we needed to do more with the ball. And when you need to do more with the ball, I don't think Scott McTominay is the man for your midfield. And this is where I think, right, Scott McTominay would have lost some points today. I don't know if I realized only when Southampton started to take it to us and we were on the back foot in the back end of the game. That is when the true McTominay started to show up and he started to get stuck in and he started to get physical and he was winning tackles and, twisting his knee and all kind of thing for the team.
I still can't remember that now, but all right.
No, I thought
it had an instance where he was chasing the ball and then like a piece of grass, he still get catching it and he got that twisty leg a little bit. So
yeah. Let me get some comments here.
Casemiro in
right?
a heartbeat.
No doubt. Dixian on the inside, thanks for joining. She's saying good night. Glory, Man United. Yes. Derek Funcha. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. All right. What kind English wanna they speak a beg?
You can tell us a Nigerian listening.
Nigerian. Watch me. We do appreciate all the views, from all different parts of the world. All united to the world. Thanks for your comment, man. Jody saying here, let the goat be the goat, of course, and he will graze in the next pasture. He will graze in other pastures. Arun on the inside. Yeah? Pastures somewhere else, right? Arun, good night, man. He's saying, as the Reds go marching on. Yeah, man. The confidence and the positivity coming in back, and we like that, guys. Riyadh saying here, let's see why we can't depend on. Yeah. I can't fight nobody on that. I was telling Nico, I say Marcel soft like wet toilet paper. He's saying your boys are egg. I can't fight that.
Wow.
Jody saying here.
Because at Sevilla was the same thing too.
Yeah. He had a sort of whatever training regimen
they do for Varane.
They put Varane, yes. They had to do that for Martial, boy. Right?
I'm not really asking if it's a French thing in truth.
Of course, watch Pogba too, Jody saying here, Reem, your boy need to go just as CR7. The man can't stay fit for nothing.
Wow.
Jody getting better. Now Jody.
Hard shot there, boy.
Nah. Let me tell you what we're going with Jody, right? Me and Jody be back and forth with who over who now. So he's trying to fight some case for Ronaldo that he ain't
Like,
going.
we can't fight as Ronaldo. But that's what I'm really go. But oh God. But if we really get a fit Martial or we get a good player, but that's the problem right there.
I feel he will organize himself. Don't worry, fellas. Don't worry. Riyadh saying here McTominay had to be epic. All he need to do is to do his job and follow the brief from Ten Hag.
Thank you. That's the point I'm trying to make.
All right. JP saying here, I give Jack his jacket. I give Jack his jacket, Greg. But Scott do us this before. If he really could put out proper performances consistently, then yeah, sure. But I don't trust him.
But that's the point I'm trying to make, because at the end of the day, if the man being consistent,
But in front of who? In front of
you again
He
going
could
by
be-
merit. If the man performing, if the man is performing, Nico, you can't tell the man he's not going to be eligible to start.
What's our comment? Is this here?
Yeah, this is. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correct, right? Zo Min Young Ang. Thanks for your comments. I mean,
This looks like Arabic or something like that. I'm not too sure.
yeah. Thanks for your comments, even though we can't translate because I don't know what language this is. But thanks for supporting All in All United. All right. JP saying here the tactical standpoint is that tactically Casemiro is my.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that one bit.
Yeah.
I can't disagree with that one bit. I mean, you don't win 5 Champions League if you're not better.
Correct. Jody saying Nico City has the squad depth and talent for Pep to drop a top performer. Well, that's a good point as well, eh?
Yeah.
A good point as well.
Yeah.
Riyadh saying here, Nico, for me, if Makti doing the job, then you really think he going to lose his place. Remember, Ten Hag ain't about reputation and name, eh? And we talk about that earlier.
Riyadh, let me answer that. Yes. Right? Yes. Because we all know McTominay is very basic.
This is why you're not a coach. You see you?
Right? McTominay not. Why you feel? Wait, let's be honest. Well, I feel we was 7 going to 8 games, beaten, right, in the Premier League away from home.
That wasn't just down to Scott and Fred. That was not just down to Scott and Fred. Don't do that.
No,
Gregory.
but
That was the whole
No,
team
Scott,
drop tool.
Fred, Maguire, and Shaw.
They were in. Yes.
And Ronaldo.
You could include Pogba and Bruno in that too. The whole team down tools.
Bruno too.
Bruno too, yeah. Bruno too.
You could hold the whole team down tools. That was a whole thing.
They do. Yeah, I tell you, they don't have what it takes to go away from home in the Premier League and win games, right? We need the great tenacity.
If your midfield is strong,
Remind me who was in the midfield when we went 2021 away from home unbeaten.
Man, that's
Matic and Pogba.
No, sir. Stop lying. Ole terrible though. Ole terrible.
After America do his job, how good? No, man, you need to do good as you can, as your qualities allow.
It go show.
Right?
The deficiencies go show. So,
Understood.
Exactly, and we know Casemiro have more to offer.
And I'm not disputing that. But if it's a situation where McTominay is showing that he's apt enough to perform, then you do reward people for good performances. You don't tell your child that they gain a prize for doing good at this and then go and beat them like straight after.
Yeah.
So yeah, what he would earn for that? He would earn being the first one off the bench.
Yeah.
Correct.
I agree with that.
That's really doesn't.
Yeah, bench.
Jub Dubé, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct, buddy. Right? He's saying, let me join you live. Here, what to do? All right, send us a message on the All in All United Facebook page, and we will arrange, for one of the future shows. Right? So thanks for the comment, man. Riyadh saying Ronaldo need to get a Coco Benz and ride out.
A Coco Benz.
Wow.
Good saying Remo, I'm to your player. They need what?
Is he the new glass man? That what you trying to say?
Oh, okay. But here now, I don't know now. I don't know what to say about Martial. When I hear he was injured for this game, I was at spoil my day, boy, and I hate early in the morning. So you can
Let me be
imagine.
honest. An Achilles is not easy injury to come back from just like that. So
I raise my
No,
hand.
but here what going on, right? I'm gonna tell you something about this whole
This is
Achilles
overlooked.
thing. Yeah, no. What happened is he is a knock to his Achilles, right? And that happened in the Liverpool game,
right.
right? And the videos from training this week show that he trained Tuesday and Friday, right? So I think the fact that he didn't play today was more of a kind of precautionary.
I
And Ten
figured.
Hag did say, he hopes he'll be back on Tuesday for Leicester, right? So
Yeah.
I wouldn't put too much on it that he go be out for long, right? Ayub Dubé saying here we need to get Anthony ASAP, no doubt. We real thin up on top.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thin.
Sure. Yeah.
And we now need to
So
be
that
thin in
thing, so
quality,
that thing.
boy. Not only in bodies and in quality too, boy.
Just that
All
price
right.
tag.
Yeah. It's not my money now. Let's see how much them other players going for. I
True.
would the market is. And we look for that too. We could have get Anthony for a
Yeah.
lot less if we had gone earlier. Right? Riyadh saying here 7 to 8 beaten away because of a bunch of players who refused to step up. Blaming Scott and Fred is a very narrow-minded view. I hear you.
I won't say I won't say it's narrow-minded because at the end of the day, if
But
your
we
midfield is
sure
not
others, yeah,
strong,
go
then
ahead.
I was saying it's not a very narrow-minded view because if your midfield is not strong enough, then your football team will not crumble, but at least you can see where the weaknesses were in our team for the last 3 to 5 seasons now, and that was Scott and Fred.
Nico?
No, what I was saying is we also talked about the other players. We trained Maguire, we trained Shaw, we even trained Bruno, right? We trained Pogba in the mix also. So it wasn't just Scott and Fred, but definitely they were the engine room. And we always talk about the
Exactly.
engine room. That when we go away, all the field opponents were better than us, and that was we were beaten because their midfield, their engine room was better than ours.
Yeah. Yeah. JP saying here, I feel Ten Hag suffering from memory loss. 2 games not gonna make him forget how much ish the man is. And very true. Very true. Very
Yeah,
true.
And yeah, actually, he spending that money just so big money to pay for him.
Yeah. Riyadh saying here, watch now. I just knew Bournemouth was going to open up and say, yeah, boy, Bournemouth, them should I get relegated today, we?
Yeah.
Trust me. Kurt
You
saying,
spot everything, boy.
yeah, boy, how you going to get 9 so early in the season?
And when they come to play us, they go to the Prime AC Milan. Watch
I'm
that.
telling you. Yeah,
Nah,
man.
not this season. Not this season. Not
Kurt saying here,
You stay there at Musil.
Kurt saying here, we need strikers bad. No doubt, Kurt. No doubt.
Yeah, we do.
He also said, Lord, I'm missing Mason. We don't talk about Mason. No.
Hey,
Hey, Chef, night, thanks for joining, man. So, let me just get his last comment and then we'll get out from the sponsors, right? Riyadh saying here, who was supposed to be the big bloke in the engine room for the past
Big
5
block.
seasons? The big block.
I
I
know
don't
he's
know.
referring to, but
I don't know who he talking about. Chef saying here, but man like a proper
you talk about past
them
players.
players.
You talk about past players.
Yeah, we ain't talking about no past players here. We're moving forward on here. Only players-
Exactly.
So, guys, let me just get away from sponsors, right? Yeah. I don't know if Nico, you there?
All right. I'll put that on this side. Yeah, Pergo Collision Center services offered auto body repair and refinish, right? Muffler repairs, replacement of auto body parts, windscreen replacements. You also can get quotation for your vehicle repairs, etc. Right? You can contact 317-2599. That is 317-2599, or you could send a WhatsApp message to 721-7368. Right? 721-7368. And we are located in South Arapuch, Hyper Village, Rusila. Yeah.
All right. Thanks to Proglo for the support for our program. Right. So guys, let me look at this back four. Right. We have been extremely solid. But do we get giddy? Is 2 games enough for us to say this is what it is, and we don't want this is what it is. So even if Chelsea come and make a bid for Maguire, sell him. If somebody come in and bid for Shaw, sell him. Are we going to place that kind of faith in this back four after 2 games?
Yes, 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 yes.
Give him more than yes, Phil.
I hate to say this, right? But with this is gonna hurt me. But with the loan of Eric Bailly, I think we have to keep Maguire. We're gonna have to. One thing about Maguire is that although he is utter shit, he's always available. I cannot think over the last 2 seasons when Maguire has been out for long periods of time. He's always available. That's why we curse him every single podcast last season, right? I repeat this again. We are going to have to keep Maguire now that Bailly is out on loan because right after Varane or Martinez, God forbid, get suspended or injured, is then Victor Lindelof, right? No problems with Victor Lindelof, right? But he has a back issue, right? Now, that would be the case if we had to sell Maguire. But after Martinez and Varane, the next person available is Harry Maguire, right? So Luke Shaw, he can go. He definitely can go. I was reading that Brandon Williams will be staying, so he will be a backup to either Dallo or Malasia. But then again, Wan-Bissaka is also staying as well too, so he will be a backup to Dallo, right? But Luke Shaw, you can definitely go. You've been here since Van Gaal, and you've given us one good season, so you can definitely go for sure. But yeah, Harry Maguire, he has to stay. Yeah.
Yeah. Before Greg and Nicole jump in on this one, there was this quote from Eric Ten Hag's press conference, right? And he was asked about Maguire being the captain and on the bench, right? And this is what he had to say. I think that doesn't mean when you are captain, you are established to play always, especially when you also have Varane in your squad. Now, guys, this kind of said 2 things to me, right? One, nobody exempt from being dropped,
Yeah.
and secondly, Harry Maguire and Varane fighting for the spot to play next to Martinez. Go ahead, Greg.
And I personally think that this comment is fair because at the end of the day, you're helping people understand. Yes, you may have a particular title, but it doesn't mean that you are entitled to certain things. It doesn't matter if you're Cristiano Ronaldo. It doesn't matter if you're Harry Maguire. It doesn't matter if you're David De Gea. Your performances are what get you into this team, and he's looking for players that will perform on a consistent level. So while I do understand where Phil is coming from, where he says that we'll have to keep Harry Maguire because we need squad depth. And we need squad depth that is going to be a bit more reliable in the sense that they're going to be fit for games. Now, as he said, Bailly has a tendency to be very injury prone, Lindelof is dealing with a back injury. After that is probably who? Ted Mengi, who's probably going out on loan too. Tuanzebe is probably looking to leave as well himself too. So and then let's not forget about the curious case of Phil Jones. How he's still here at the club after God knows how long is another mystery in itself. Everybody mentioned past Harry Maguire is unreliable because we don't know if they're going to ever be fit or injury free to be able to be there as backups. So we need the squad depth. So until a suitable replacement that can be found and comes in as a proper backup or as someone who could contend for our starting place, Maguire basically stays by default. Notwithstanding that he has to earn his spot. Whether he's capable of doing that is another story, and that remains to be seen depending on how Ten Hag plans to utilize him. I'll leave it there. But for now, the players that we're seeing in that back line of Dalot, Varane, Martinez, and Malacia I think are currently looking like the best back four that we can have available to us.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Nico, and this one for you, I don't know if you realize, but Ollie's favored back four is completely out of the team. Because Ollie's favored back four was Shaw, Lindelof, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. Right? And now we have a completely different back four. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, we're back to the same statement you had up there just now from Ten Hag, right? I think also what he's saying there is that Varane is ahead of Maguire, right? Because when you say, especially if you have Varane in your team, then he's saying that Varane is better than Maguire. Technically, that way you say. See, especially when you have Varane in your squad, right? So that is one, right? So the second thing is, I agree with Phil in terms of you never know with Varane in terms of injuries, right? After that will be Lindelof and I guess Maguire, right? So definitely Maguire by default again would stay. However, again I agree with Phil. Shaw could leave, right? Because even Martinez could play left back. Worst case, Martinez could play in a left back position, right? Yeah, because he did that. He actually do play as a left back, right? So we have Martinez could play as a left back, and even if we had to bring in Lindelof or a Maguire, we still had an option. So for me, Shaw could leave. Shaw could go on loan. Join him in the England squad. He free to do that. But definitely Maguire would have to stay.
All right, nice. I think the team needed the shake-up, right? Because we last couple seasons, we know that Ollie had to kind of stand by his signings, right? And that's why we would have seen certain players even after, poor performances over and over and over. And the biggest culprit is Maguire, right? We've been seeing Maguire doing nonsense, getting red cards, getting sent off, setting the team up, pulling down players, roughing up your own players, And this guy was continuously starting, right? And this came as a result of a manager not having what's the phrase?
Cojones.
The kahunas.
The testicular fortitude.
Right, to say, here we're going on. I know I buy you, I know I was the one who signed off on your transfer, but you go make me lost my work. So here we're going on. Let me look and give somebody else a chance. Right? Even if he looked inside the squad.
Without fear or favor.
Yeah, let me say, chances are, or the possibility exists that maybe Ollie couldn't go and sign an ex-defender. But looking at, show me that you recognize that this man not performing at the level, and he really keeping back the team. Because I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest struggles we encountered last season was the fact that we always had to come from behind. We were always putting a lot of pressure on the attackers to score 2 and 3 and 4 goals. When today, 1 goal was sufficient for us to win the game. Right? You could imagine if we had a suspect back four, we would have be fighting to either draw or we might have lost the game. Right? So sometimes 1 goal is enough or should be enough once the defense do their job. And Maguire and Shaw were not doing their job. So I hope the message that is sent to Maguire and Shaw also obtains for everybody else on the squad. That you don't perform, you don't play. Right? Whether you have reputation, whether you have a captain's armband title or whatever. We want performers. Let me get some comments here, guys. Jody saying here, yeah, boy, Kurtz are sending. Okay. So I don't know if they're talking to each other inside. Carry on. Chef saying, but City cannot keep on conceding. So a proper team will hold them. And okay. We're talking about the Palace game today.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you gonna do? Riyadh saying with Martinez and Varane is our back six. True that. Chef said we still need a right back. Yeah. Even though Dalot was very, very good today earlier. We still because you're talking about from Dalot to Bissaka, you know. Riyadh saying it's not good enough, but it is what we have.
What we have now, yeah.
Chef saying we cannot sell them because we don't have the strength in the panel. The panel was saying that. All right. JP saying here. JP saying here, I think we see enough from this back four. You see more intelligent defending, and Varane and Martinez seem to be on the same wavelength. They're covering each other. The bonus is in Martinez and Malacia. I see natural leaders on the pitch. And you know, with this point, right, one thing that stood out is after the first game, Maguire and Martinez played together. It was a disaster. And Maguire went in the post match and he said, "We learning each other. It'll take time." But the first game against a much tougher opponent between with Varane and Martinez. Yeah. First game, and these two players though they're playing together for years. So I don't understand, you know.
Maguire don't even understand.
Chef saying here, this wasn't the same Gregory defending shitty Maguire when you saying drop him, Greg.
Go white for the pine.
Deng Malu, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. You know, thanks for joining.
Greg was defending Maguire. Wow.
This year we'll win the Premier League.
Hey, if we could get away with defending myself or somebody performances, this is news me.
Fair comment, friend now.
Chef saying, yeah, a fit and healthy Varane will always be a better player and definitely a better leader than Maguire. Yeah. They don't call him Champions League Varane for nothing. Yeah. And I think that's key earlier. A fit and healthy Varane, we had to keep that man fit. Yeah. As long as he fit, we ain't seen Maguire. And we go need to see Maguire when we had to play Scunthorpe and Millwall and them fellas and them. Right? Riyadh saying here, Shaw should have been ejected years ago. Yeah. But watch me. If Jones could be here, then expect Shaw to be here. Right? Yeah. Kurt saying here, so what about Tuanzebe and Mengi? In the... Well, yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
Mengi not ready. Mengi's definitely not ready. So he probably need another loan or something. Tuanzebe looks like he needs to find a new club because he always looking like he on the verge of breaking in, and then something always happening. Is either a bad performance or some injury mashing him up. I think it might be time to move on.
Yeah. So, fellas, I want to talk about the Champions League draw, but before we do that, right? I just want to touch on one last thing about the game today.
The League draw or the Europa League draw?
Europa League draw. Sorry, the Europa League. Oh gosh, I'll forgive me now.
Don't worry, right? don't worry. Manifesting it. That's all.
Right, that we talking about. But
and besides, during the actual Champions League draw, they pulled me out of one of the balls too. So.
Oh really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
You joking?
No. Yeah. When I find the clip, I'll send it to you.
All right, nice. So fellas, I mean, okay, so let me put this to you all. we talk about today not really being anything to write home about in terms of performance, but we had some good spells in the game,
Right.
right? But why is it that right after we scored, we went into panic mode and we started to defend for their life? And I tell you, we scored when in the 55th minute or something, right? Yeah, right, the 55th minute. And
Close to
after that,
68.
right, and after that, from around that time until the end of the game, we was under pressure. And even when when we brought on the different substitutes, whoever, our passing decisions, we were forcing it. We were playing like we were panicking. Ole, why are we still doing these kind of things?
Old habits die hard, I guess.
I think this will take time to come out to us. Yeah, yeah. I think this will take a while because remember we was in a position that we haven't been in for months. We winning away from home. So that alone bringing that kind of adrenaline that whatever training you was getting that going out the window. You looking at self-preservation mode right now. Then kick it long, kick it out, keep it out. You know, so I think Ten Hag philosophy and style and how we would manage our games, I think that would come with time, but it will come also with confidence. So I think we don't have
But
the
it's time.
confidence yet. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that we believed with our win today.
Nah,
You know,
Nico,
so I
the
think
confidence
with
is there
time,
because we score first versus Liverpool, and our heads never dropped. We kept on running at these. We kept on running at Liverpool when we scored first. When Sancho scored, our heads never dropped. We even increased our intensity and kept on running at Liverpool. Maybe when we scored the second goal, we dropped a little bit. But us scoring versus Southampton today, we just were on the back foot for at least a good half an hour at least.
yeah, yeah. So now I say because we haven't been in that position in a while. Sometimes it has revert to where you know now.
Yep.
Right? So I think
Yep.
in time, maybe hopefully that should improve, but with confidence. You know, so I guess with confidence, with developing that playing style, understanding the players around you, I think it will improve. But today, I was expecting that, honestly.
It didn't surprise me either because I mean these are players that some of them still are in this mindset of we had to be on the defensive right through because that's the style that they've been playing for years. When you look at the players, the coaches that they've had before, it was never really on the front foot style of football that they were playing. You look at Oli, he was counter attacking. Ralph was also Jose was
Ralph
the most
try,
pragmatic coach we had. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it looks as a situation where they get so accustomed to being in a defensive mindset in the way that they set out to play. It's kind of hard to find yourself on that front foot now. While it's not necessarily a good excuse, that's just the reality of the situation with the way some of those guys are.
Yeah, because that kind of concerning, and I guess I understand that it's a process that we had a kind of bear as fans,
Very low.
but the concerning thing is that the fragility of our confidence. Because Riyad's saying here, Bruno said it was about confidence. The team almost subconsciously stopped, and our confidence is not at a place where De Gea mentioned it, where we can go 1-0 down and come back and win 6-1. Look, we saw it with City again today, right? They went 2-0 down and half time and came back and win the game 4-2. Last week they were down against Newcastle and came back and drew. So we're not there. So, but what I'm saying is there are so many basics in football that them fellas and them not getting right when we're under pressure. Simple passing decisions, right? And we giving the ball back to the opposition and putting ourselves in further pressure. And I go by the saying, pressure is bust pipe. So if we keep putting ourselves in that kind of position without being,
We'll concede, yeah.
intelligent with how we play, especially under that kind of order, we go find ourselves back in that hole where we had to be fighting to dig out ourselves without confidence. And so I really hope to see better going forward. I know it will take a process and it will take time, but simple basic decisions. These are professional footballers we're talking about here. I remember there was a play, Ericsson get the ball, pass it to Rashford. Rashford just knock it back to Ericsson with 2 men on him, and we lost possession. And I'm asking myself, Rashford, you have pace, just turn and push and run. It had so much space behind the defender. why it is you get the man back the ball in a tight space where it was more likely than not that he'll lose possession. And these are the kind of things I'm talking about. So I
I
really
say so.
hope.
New players dreams will help that. New players with that
Well,
different mentality, because we seeing it, because we seeing what Martinez bringing, right? We see what Malacia bringing. We even see what Ericsson bringing. So I think with the new players coming into the team, hopefully we get at least two players before the NI transfer window, and hopefully even that, Casemiro coming in would help that also. But to me, when Casemiro coming in with our leadership qualities, we'll be able to calm down the team.
yeah.
So I think the new players coming in is the players who are to come with that mentality. Because I think the
I
players
hope I
so
hope I
fragile
hope
that we have,
Casemiro
so fragile.
I hope
Uh-huh.
Casemiro coming in. I hope Casemiro coming in don't mean that Ronaldo staying here.
No, I
True
hope
that.
not.
True that.
Yeah.
So fellas, as Riyad have it up on his screen here, right? With Leicester on Tuesday and Arsenal on Sunday, right? You're making any
So close
changes to the
Thursday
Leicester
and Sunday.
team?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I'm asking this question. Are they making any changes to that Thursday team in preparation for Sunday, or we keeping the same team? How
Now
how
we are
how are they gonna line up versus Leicester on Tuesday?
Two
Phil?
two changes. Two changes. If Martial fit, play him against Leicester and take out Scott and put in Casemiro. I want to see Casemiro play at least 45 minutes. I want to see if he plays a full 90 or at least 60 to 75 minutes, sure. But I want to see Casemiro get his foot running immediately, because as most people are mentioning, oh, Casemiro has 5 Champions League, but he played in La Liga. This is the Premier League. Okay, sure, put Casemiro immediately into the first team versus Leicester and have him running immediately.
All right, Nico.
Yeah. For me, you had to have changes. You had to make changes. I think Ericsson today, from looking at the team, right? I think Ericsson today looked flat for the last 10. Um, Maybe there's a possibility could have a change there. So even Casimiro and Fred, who are accustomed playing with the Brazilian national team, coming into that game. If we have Martial coming in, Martial could come in that game, even if I don't know if let me say we rest. I don't think we rest Sancho, but coming into the team for maybe Langa, whoever else. But to me, we had to freshen it up. I don't think we'll make much changes in the back four though. I think the back four will have to play, but I think in the midfield and the forward line, I think let me say we could bring in a Fred and a Casemiro, right? To me, that could work, right? And on top, you bring in a Martial if he fit, or even a Ronaldo. Even a Ronaldo, as much as he would struggle, but we need fresh legs. We can't go in unchanged for both games.
Greg, we're just talking about the game. It have a close turnover between the next two games, two big games, especially the second one. If you're gonna make any changes to the team on Tuesday, keeping an eye on Arsenal on Sunday.
I think there would be room for changes in that regard. I mean, it is Leicester we play in, so they're not exactly in the best of form either. So there's gonna be opportunities for other players to be able to get game time. This is why certain players, as much as we may hate them, will probably get games in a situation that is because of the time frame. Because it's Thursday, then the game against Arsenal is Sunday. So you're looking at that. A lot of players won't necessarily be as fresh as they would if it was like the games are a week apart from each other. So I can't pick up off the top of my head who would probably come in. I mean, I get where Nico's coming from with regards to the Ericsson getting rested, because you don't want to put that pressure of him having to play so many consistent games given his heart situation. So you kind of want to take those things into consideration when you're dealing with certain games. And Leicester's always going to be a physical game, so you will need a lot of bodies that will probably be able to take that. So it really is depending on the manager. He may trust the players who have performed so far, and given their performances, he might go with them still, or he may look to freshen things up. It's kind of a hard choice to make at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Guys, we have 49 likes, right? So let me get one more to make it 50, and even if it go beyond 50, that will be appreciated. So let me get more than 50 this evening, right? So let me get the likes up at least one more to make it 50. Riyadh saying here, I really and truly hope Ronaldo leaves. Yeah, man, we already make the 50 likes mark. Thanks, guys. JP saying here, sadly, I feel
Nice.
he gonna start Harry and Shaw on Thursday. Might wanna keep the stronger team for Sunday, right?
Nah.
Riyadh saying here,
John Paul, nah. That is like going back in time 100 years. He might change one, but not the two.
Nah, can't change two.
But a little think Varane, knowing
Can't
his
change it.
history, with accumulation, it might be wise to rest him, rotate him out for Leicester.
I would say rotate Varane if we are maybe 3 goals up versus Leicester. So you take out Varane and put in a Maguire and then go from there.
So you're saying start the same back four?
Not a bad idea, but
Yeah.
hey,
Because Leicester they free taking.
yeah. Hey, what's when Vardy and Barnes see Maguire, them I light up on them. Them is grin from ear to ear. Yeah, I tell you, don't put Maguire in that Leicester game. Don't put. Better we bring him on late, and for him to play forward and hope for a header or something. But don't start him at all.
I guess watching.
When Madison see Maguire, he's minded from ear to ear.
Them men know that Christmas come early when they see Maguire, boy.
No, but earlier, truth be told, right?
Yeah.
We had a trust with squad in it. We had a trust with squad, right? Yeah, I agree. I agree, but I am fearful, right, that we lose Varane because we choose not to use our squad, right? Because I prefer Varane. I be honest with you, I prefer Varane and Martinez for Arsenal. I actually willing to play Maguire, knowing that probably I have Casemiro there, to kind of give him that added protection, right, against a Leicester City. That's just my thoughts, because for me, I know Varane hasn't proven over, the last season that he's been here, that he kind of, he that reliable, right? And an accumulation of games in that short space of time, I'm afraid we go lost Maguire and then we will be seeing, this guy coming back on the field and playing regular games for us, and have Martinez looking
right.
suspect. So that's just my thing. But points noted. Let's see what the manager thinks. Let's hope Marcel is also another option.
And just to add to that, Reem, I think personally, giving Casemiro game time against Leicester would be a nice little introduction to the Premier League for him as well too, because that is a game. If we know Casemiro, he has the technical ability to progress the ball, but he also is a very physical player in itself. So playing against Leicester would be a nice, well, I wouldn't say baptism, but a nice game to him to really get a proper run of what it is to go up against Premier League opposition. Because there's a lot of physicality in the way that Leicester tends to play. So I think that would probably be one of the better games for him to really get his feet wet.
Yeah. The only thing I would really
They say you 60 minutes.
At least.
But Nico raised a good point earlier. Nico raised a good point because Vardy is very, very quick. And one of the reasons why, Varane is in the team is because of that kind of agility and speed. So let me see how it goes. Let's see how it goes, JP saying here, Nico, start Donny Thursday.
Yeah, let me see if he improve, because again, Ten Hag in the seat and he's still in the first sub of the bench. But
anything just to not see Scotland. Anything just to not see Scotland.
No, Scott, no matter if Scott play or not, but when they play with Scott, come and play that man short. Most times, they come against that man short.
Can you say that for the last 2 games? Can you say that for the last 2 games? Because if we given Martinez and Varane
it had times
the
to
plaudits, no, Nico. If we given Martinez and Varane the plaudits for the 2 games that they come in and they look so seamless, if McTominay put in those 2 performances that he did for the last 2 games, he had to get the same sort of plaudits, man. We can't have one standard for one set of players and then have another standard. We being hypocritical.
Greg,
We being hypocritical.
Greg, no, but no, what we talking
No,
about?
no, no what?
And what we use
No
levels now.
No what?
Standards and levels.
There you go.
If you're
Being hypocritical again. You're being hypocritical again, Nico. Gosh, man.
No, but quality defending and quality midfield play.
Answer this question.
Quality midfield play.
Answer this question. Has Scott McTominay been bad for the last 2 games? No, answer the question. Yes or no? Has he been bad?
Quality midfield.
Has he been? No. You're dancing around the question. Has he been bad for the last? Nico, answer the question. Has he been bad for the last 2?
He has been average.
So that's okay. Well, I'm taking that. I am taking that as a no. I am taking that as a no because you can't. You're deflecting. You can't answer the question.
Greg, I don't remember. Greg, I don't remember. Nico a little bit behind, Like Phil Bourne, Phil.
I listening, but the one question that I just got from somebody was, Big Phil, who would you rather see in midfield versus Arsenal, Scott or Casemiro? And
I'm not talking about Arsenal. I just talking about the overall.
I was just about to answer the guy, but I listened to you guys as well too, right? So
no problem. Let me just get some comments here, right? Kurt saying here Casemiro should be training Charlie Savage and Hannibal under his wings. These youths out.
Training? But we spend 60 million, we be training nobody. Why? We spend 60 million for Casemiro to come and train Savage and Hannibal. Nah, that coaches are.
Yeah. I see where the person coming from. I mean more like, being a mentor, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what he meant from.
Jody saying here, all I know for sure is that come Sunday we will be handing Arsenal their first defeat for the season. Jody, remember Arsenal had a play before that, so we hope we will be handing them their second loss, right? We can't have them clothing for our next match week, right? JP saying here, we give the defenders plaudits because Scott gave them ample opportunities to defend. He hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been good. So fellas, let me look to wrap it now because we're over the hour mark. So let me get some closing thoughts and then, we can wrap it. All right, Peter Bournemouth. Some closing thoughts now.
Boy. Salah could not even get on the score sheet today, boy.
Yeah, if you know that sour me, that real sour me, that man on my fantasy team, boy. I'm to he, boy.
You see why I stopped playing FPL?
When I see 9, I said 9. I sure Salah first scored about 7. I know he greedy now.
Salah get the worst rating. Salah get a 6.3 or something like that. I get the worst rating, boy. Say, well, boy.
That's still high. He ain't do nothing.
He missed an open goal too, He missed an open goal.
Yes, I saw that. But that is more than an open goal because the guy was literally about 5 inches away from the goal line. But the performance today and also versus Liverpool gives us some confidence going in, right? Because at the end of the day, we need this type of performances versus all teams going forward. It doesn't matter if it's Bournemouth, doesn't matter if it's Liverpool, right? I definitely would like to give Arsenal their second loss according to Ream for the season, right? I don't, because they got Aston Villa at home, so I kind of think that they will get over the line versus Aston Villa. But I actually would like to beat Arsenal and shut up some of these Arsenal fans. Boy, they always messaging me 4-4 in a couple of days. It's gonna be 5-5. But I want it to be us that give them a loss. I want it to be us, right? I see where Reem is coming from with regards to maybe benching Varane in time for the Arsenal game, but I don't want to break anything that's not. I don't want to change anything that's not broken, right? So definitely looking forward to the next couple of games because we're high on confidence. A lot of United fans right now over the last couple of days have seen the potential that this team can produce, right? Can we produce this potential for the next 3 games, 4 games, 10 games, right? I really hope so. So I'll end on that.
Yeah. Greg?
I mean, at the end of the day, I share the same sentiments. You want to keep that proper momentum going forward because that gives you all the necessary firepower you need to go into it. So, because remember, football is also a mental thing as well too. And if you go into a game low on confidence, the opposition will look at you and think, "Ah, yeah, these fellas easy for the pickings." We can't allow ourselves to do that. So, what happens against Leicester? We can't allow that to be a necessary precursor and we get too overconfident because the Premier League is a funny thing where you're riding high 1 minute and then all of a sudden you get slapped in your face and you realize what's going on. You're still sober enough from a one bad drunk night.
Yeah. Nico?
Again, today was an important 3 points in the bag. I guess if we didn't really follow up today with our 3 points after, beating Liverpool, then really we're not count for anything now because we'd have beaten Liverpool and then come to Southampton and would have jumped 3 points or even 2 points. I think today that 3 points today was very important, not only for the points on the table, but also for the confidence of the guys. I think today's victory, how they fought, stuck it out. We saw how well the defense, so the defense was tested, and we saw that they held out, they held firm, they played as a team defensively, attacking wise. We had another question about that. But again, what Teddy would have showed us is that we need a quality centre forward. We need somebody to hold up that ball. I think that would help the team. I think that would really help the team. Hopefully, Marcel will get fit, or we do something in the transfer window coming up. We do some business in the transfer window that we could get players who could. So we not to change the style of the football too much now because the best football we have seen is with Marcel as the number 9, right? And we look good. And the worst is when we didn't have him at all. So I say let me do something in the transfer window coming here. Let me get players in. And again, today was an important 3 points that hopefully will build the guys' confidence for the next upcoming games.
Yeah. Jody saying here, 2-0 win for United on Thursday. Juju Boss says so. Jody, what was the score you predict for this game today? I know it wasn't 1-0. So check back that Juju now, boy. Go and mix back some sauce.
It's funny. I think Jody did predict that we were going to win versus Liverpool, though. I think he did, though.
Yeah, but he get this one against Southampton wrong, right? Come, Juju Boss. Come.
Hey, right? You say we was going on win, right?
Yeah, but he...
So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, boy.
The man boasts in accuracy, so come now, man. Look, watch me. So much accuracy that look Kurt asking for lotto numbers, all kind of thing, right? So... my thing, guys, concerning closing thoughts, that is, Ten Hag said that the team still needs improvement, not only in terms of who we have, but in terms to add to the squad. So I am very hopeful that we will see some faces coming in. I think Martin Dubravka more or less have one foot in the door, right? But in terms of, a next striking option, somebody, because Nico, you said it right, when Marcel played, we played some of the best football. So we want somebody that carry his style of something similar to his skill set. And I like Ivan Toney, right? Ivan Toney, proper, right? So if we could throw some mad money at Brentford, if we don't get Anthony over the line, right?
They ain't gonna let he go cheap, I know that much.
But well, exactly, and you can't expect them to do that, with 3 or 4 days remaining, right? So we had to prepare to pay crazy money, right? But I telling you, I feel this Ivan Toney fella worth it. The man proper, right? So I hoping we could see somebody, ideally for me, I want to see the young, and I ain't giving up hope until the window shut and he's still wearing Barca colours. I still believing, because although we need an next midfielder, right? We need an next midfielder, right? And I'm not gonna think and no, we want somebody else, right?
I mean, and Pogba took the whole of the transfer window before we signed him, so I mean, stranger things happen,
Exactly. So my fingers crossed, my toes crossed, and I hoping before the deadline, I see Frankie De Jong holding up in number 21. It's a reason why we holding that number back earlier. Trust, right? Anyway, yeah. So and everything that you guys said, I fully agree with as well. We can't win against Liverpool and win against Southampton and then loss against Leicester. That is not progress. That is like one foot forward and one step forward and how much backward, right?
5.
So yeah, so the consistency in terms of results is important, but I want to see performances as well because today it was kind of boring, but it was encouraging after that kind of spirited performance against Liverpool. So let me see. Let me just get these last comments here and then we go wrap it, guys. Joey saying here, boy, let's stop depending on Marcelo and Ronaldo bringing players. I like Tony. I said the score would have been 2-1 real. I will check back, Jody. But if you say that, then fair play, man, fair play.
Yo, but you said right? Wrong, but you have 1-0.
Oh, okay. Well, he might argue the goal margin now.
Yeah,
yeah. Everson saying here, mad money for Tony. Right?
Tony bad boy.
But Tony real bad. Tony real bad. Trust me. I'll watch Brentford play like Gregory and convinced.
You okay in my book, but I ain't really too enthusiastic about it. But if he come, he come. I ain't vexed.
Nah, he's quality, boy. He's quality.
Yeah, he nah. JP saying here 2 to 3 new signings and a victory Tuesday. Yeah, we taking that. Mm-hmm. So guys, it was nice. Phil and Greg, joining myself and Nick on the inside. It was real nice, guys. Another 3 points in the bag. We from 20th to 7th.
Yeah, 7th.
Yeah, man, that is
like I said, everybody was saying we was relegation candidates just the other day,
Yeah.
I ain't hearing that talk again now.
Yeah. So let me hope we could keep the wins coming in so we could be on the up, right? Because we could still end back up in relegation if we don't win, right? Yeah. So guys, again, the All United EPL Fantasy Football Code, it's there because the challenge is ongoing, right? So feel free to join and test your skills against some of the best, right?
This season it's tough, boy. So far, well, the early days still, but it's tough, boy. You have some proper players in that league, boy.
True that.
Yeah.
Last comment going to Rick Barlow. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying good chat, fellas, from Manchester, England. Hey, nice, man. Glad to have a.
Wait, what time is it in England that you tuning in, boy? Because it has to be 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. About probably 1:30 around there, maybe.
Nah, because England is 5 hours ahead, so it's 3:00 in the morning.
5 or 4? 5 or 4?
5.
Yeah.
My man tuning in at 3:00 in the morning. That's great.
Nah, you want to be on work, man. You're a shift worker, man.
Yeah, hey Rick, we appreciate the
man. Check the comment. See, it's gotta be half 3 in England, yeah.
That's what we're talking about, man. We appreciate the comment, the commitment and the support, Rick. Yeah, man. That's what we're talking about. All right. So, guys, it was nice, and yeah, we'll see you all on the next one. So we'll be here again on Thursday, guys, to review the Leicester game. Have a good night, everybody.